Mr. Knapp, you feel free to take the microphone out if you find that easier. Okay.
Thank you. My name is Jonathan Knapp. I'm a CTE teacher at West Seattle High School. I had prepared some other remarks, but I felt it was important to be able to finish Olga Adai's speech, so I'm going to read from her speech. Dr. Goodloe Johnson decided to practice disruptive change RIF 60 elementary teachers and about 90 others, even though her HR department told her it was not necessary, and the proof is that all elementary teachers last year were in fact rehired. But she achieved her goal, her desired goal, to rile up community sentiment about the seniority system, the only objective way to handle a RIF, because reduction in force should never be used to circumvent the evaluation system, because that leads to capricious and discriminatory practices. Yes, the union does believe in a robust professional standard-based evaluation system, and it actively is working in collaboration with the district to have one ready to meet the requirements of Senate Bill 6696. Let's not forget our RIF brethren at 609, the cafeteria workers who were RIFed against their outcries last year. And now the superintendent comes for counselors, and the cry is no funding. We need to keep the funding at the schools. Oh, really? The prescriptive change called for in performance management calls for managers and prescribed professional development and mandated coaching. Did you know there are 330 managers at the John Stanford Center, and that's not including principals and assistant principals at the schools. It does, however, include 13 past representative managers, such as the 7 special ed supervisors. While I speak of our managers, we have about 90 plus coaches at the Stanford Center. These include school-based professionals, development coaches, and instructional coaches. Don't get me wrong, coaching has its merits when it is run like the science departments use it, where teachers choose to seek out a coach. I do want to note that there are now only 5-star mentors, the mentors that are used to mentor new teachers, and that program used to have 12. So prescriptive guidance, such as coaching as mandatory, hasn't shown results to date. Yet you say Seattle Public Schools doesn't have money. In fact, it does. I said it a year ago, and I'm speaking for Olga. Olga said it right here a year ago at the rally in front of the school, and she says it again. In the not too distant past, earned autonomy was synonymous with white privilege. Prescriptive guidance is the same as tracking, but this time whole students will be tracked to learn basic skills. It's called skill and drill for a reason. It kills teacher innovation and creativity. All students deserve a school that is creative and innovative. Please consider collaborating with our workforce instead of ramming decisions down its throat.
Thank you, Mr. Knapp. Patricia Robinson.
I'm Patricia Robertson. I'd like to cede my time to Gabriela Gutierrez Imus.
Good evening and happy St. Patrick's Day. My name is Gabriela Gutierrez Imus. I'm a professor at Seattle University with a PhD from Stanford University, a credentialed bilingual teacher in California and Washington states, and a parent of Seattle Public School students. I am deeply concerned about the cultural apartheid that will occur if Dr. Goodloe Johnson's performance management initiative is implemented. As someone who served as the Wismer Professor for Gender and Diversity at Seattle University, I find these initiatives utterly dumbfounding because they would eliminate the possibility of our youngest and most diverse teachers and students' advancement and the recognition of their value by privileging only one way of teaching to our children. Incredibly enough, our superintendent, a woman of color herself, wants to continue counting beans with measuring cups instead of measuring the abundant essence of what diversity, bilingualism, social class issues add to the learning and teaching of our students and teachers. How will the field trips to the Indian Cultural Center or to El Centro de la Raza be measured in containers? How will the empowerment of children of color taught by people of color for the first time be measured with her Strident initiative? Will standardized tests measure the anti-racist and anti-homophobic initiatives teachers add to their curriculum in order to create a classroom with less microaggressions against people of color, girls, homosexuals, gay and lesbian teachers? Will teaching to the test improve understandings of cultural difference? These standardized tests privilege normalized middle-class ways of knowing the world, which paralyze growth and learning about the enriching value of working-class and immigrant people's participation in the learning and teaching process. This also excludes the parents of color and working-class parents whose knowledge about the world becomes superfluous according to this curriculum. This initiative establishes for our students a standard by which we judge society, which also delimits diversity. As a child growing up in migrant camps and moving around throughout the year, I understand the value of respect from teachers for my mother's tortilla-making skills and my father's work in the field. This respect and these skills did not come about through the standardized tests, but through compassion, collaboration, and the participation of immigrant parents in our classrooms. This allowed for other children to value what my parents had to offer as they crunched on a delicious apple which my father picked, or ate green giant cauliflower which my mother packed. As a professor, a past high school and junior high school teacher, and a published academic in the intersections of race, class, and gender and sexuality, I deeply resent the arrogance of this initiative. If there was one thing I valued about living in Seattle, it was teaching the students that came from kind, creative, communal teaching environments in the Seattle School District in the past. I hope these reductionist and unfair initiatives will not be implemented to the detriment of our kind, well-trained, and well-educated teachers. Thank you very much.
Thank you.